This is Nick.
This is Jack.
Welcome back. It is Monday, November 24th, and today's pod is the best one yet. This is a T-Boy.
The top 3 pop business news stories you need to know today.
Yetis, Jack and I are going to drop something super special in like 1 minute, so just hang in there. Trust us on this one.
For our first story, the NFL has always wanted a team in London and in Germany, but it can't because of jet lag.
Well, one supersonic travel startup could make the NFL the first 2-continent league.
For our second story, The Gap just had its best growth in 7 years, and it's all thanks to the milkshake song.
Yeah, Katseye, the Spice Girls of Gen Z, just caused a Gap stock pop.
And our third and final story. What if we told you there was a startup selling mystery bags of groceries at a huge discount? And that startup is now worth $1 billion.
Well, guess what? It exists, and it's too good to go.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, literally.
Too good to go.
That's the name of the company, actually.
But Yetis, before we hit that wonderful mix of stories.
Oh, what a mix of stories. And now I'm getting excited, Jack. This is good.
Thanksgiving is this Thursday, but there's another national holiday this week.
That's right, Jack. It is Black Friday week. You got to get a gift for pretty much everyone out there.
Correction. It's actually the week that media companies launch their holiday merch. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, it is. But this year, Jack and I decided to mix things up.
We're selling a Yeti for the Yetis.
That's right.
A plush toy that's the best one yet.
We're not kidding. If you are watching on YouTube right now, you got to see this. It's not just any toy. This is a TBOY Labubu dupe.
Hold it up.
I got it right here. Here we go.
A Yeti monster doll that kind of looks like a Labubu.
I know. The lawyers don't want us to say that, but what the heck? We just said it.
Now, we're definitely the only business news show that's selling a plush doll, right?
Absolutely, Jack.
It's not an emotional support animal. It's an economic support animal.
So, Jack, how about you say we go full QVC in describing this toy for the besties so they can buy this thing?
16 inches tall, white fur. It's an abominable snowman Yeti little thing.
I'm looking at him right now. Cute teeth, cute hair, and a tiny T-Boy t-shirt.
So again, why is a business news show making a doll? Well, because in this economy, you need an emotional support toy.
Besties, this T-Boy Yeti doll is so soft you can snuggle up to it after a bad earnings report.
It's so plush it makes Peloton stock feel like Nvidia stock.
It is so scrunchalicious that Warren Buffett just bought one for his next board meeting.
And when Bitcoin falls under 80,000, he'll nap and sleep with this thing too.
So Yetis, go to tboypod.com/shop to buy your T-Boy Yeti today. You gotta get one.
We're dropping a link in the episode description too.
Limited orders, limited supplies, so grab it now, tboypod.com/shop.
And it'll definitely arrive before Christmas or Hanukkah.
Jack, one sec, I'm getting a call. One sec. It's Masa. He wants $1 billion of them.
He wants to invest?
Yeah. One sec, Masa says one more thing.
Oh. Yetis, you can't hug ChatGPT, but you can hug the Yeti for Yetis.
Buy yours now, Jack. Let's hit our 3 stories.
15 years before this song, 2 boys from the Northeast met in the dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your at list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, the NFL has wanted a European team for decades, so we're looking at why they haven't gotten one.
One airplane startup, though, can solve the NFL's Europe problem.
Yes, it can.
With time travel.
Oh, Yetis, check out the calendar. We are 3 days away. Thanksgiving, the only holiday with a third helping and a third football game. It's true.
It's true. The NFL has 3 games on Thursday, and they have a game on Friday this year. Plus, Saturday has college football's best rivalries, including Florida State, and Ohio State, Michigan.
And Jack, you and your 3 brothers have like a 15-day tournament from what I remember. But besties, this is a business pod. And if there's one thing Jack and I know about the NFL, it's that like Jerry Maguire, they are driven by money.
The NFL has already expanded to Monday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. The NFL's next expansion is to Europe.
That's right. They can't just take over the calendar. They got to take over a new region. So Jack, could you sprinkle on some context for us, please?
NFL Europe used to be a thing. It was basically pro football's minor league from 1991 to 2007.
But here's the thing. NFL Europe only played games in Europe with European teams.
Today, the NFL does play games in Europe. 5 games have happened in Europe this season, but they've never had a team based in Europe.
A team based in Europe that would then play against American teams.
But according to the Wall Street Journal, the NFL has always wanted that. They've always wanted to expand from their American teams only to a couple of European teams as well.
But they haven't. And the reasons why, well, there are a few, as the French would say, not possible.
Hurdle number one to a European NFL team is that team would have a disadvantage and it would be isolated.
Traveling across the Atlantic is taxing on the body and the mind. Your kicker is going to get frozen by the jet lag.
So the NFL has said that to expand to Europe, it would only make sense with at least 2 teams. Almost certainly in London and then probably in Germany. They might want a whole division out there too.
Hurdle number 2 for an NFL European team is the cost.
Players would definitely demand relocation bonuses because it costs a lot of money and time to move your family to Europe.
I mean, even Tom Brady would be homesick for his mom's cooking, so you need to give him that extra compensation so that free agents don't avoid playing on a European team.
You don't want the London and German teams to just be bad because players don't want to go over there.
Now, hurdle number 3 we find the most fascinating. It is the biggest and also the biggest surprise.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the big reason we don't have an NFL team in Europe is that it takes too long to travel there.
Yeah, it's the travel time. You see, besties, football is played on Sundays, so each of the other 6 days is crucial to recover and prepare because football players are fragile and they need that extra time during the week. 1 game a week, Jack.
Okay, Yeti, I played football and this is the only criticism I've ever heard about football not being tough.
I need 6 days to get ready for my next big day at work.
I don't even know how to respond.
You don't even have to, Jack, because football players only take 1 day off, a Tuesday. So if they have to go from Los Angeles to Rome to play a game,
that's an 11-hour trip. If the NFL has a team in Europe, the off day would go away.
Yeah, and how much protein and cold plunges can you really fit on a transatlantic 747 flight?
Not enough. So having a team in Europe would mean players don't have any days off the whole season.
So besties, add it all up, and hurdles number 1 and 2 are surmountable with money and contracts.
Basically, the lawyers can take care of hurdles number 1 and 2.
But hurdle number 3, travel time, actually is now surmountable, but only if one startup succeeds.
And that startup is Boom Supersonic.
So Jack, Hut, what's the takeaway for our buddies over in the first ever European NFL team?
Supersonic jets will shrink the Atlantic Ocean and expand American football.
Yetis, in 2021, Jack and I covered that United Airlines had invested in a new startup called Boom Supersonic.
Boom's jets can fly at Mach 1, faster than the speed of sound, with 80 passengers on board.
So if the NFL bought 3 of these Boom Supersonic jets, they could transport an entire 200-person traveling party, basically fit a whole NFL team.
And they could get that NFL team from Europe to America and back in half the time. Just 3 hours from New York to London,
Totally.
or 6 hours from Los Angeles to London.
Now, interestingly, in baseball, the Dodgers and the Giants only moved from New York to California when a technology shifted, when commercial air travel made it practical.
Well, further advances in air travel could bring us the London fog and the Berlin Blitz to the NFL.
And get this, Boom successfully tested their supersonic jet in the desert this January. They're hoping it'll be commercially available by 2029.
Although when we covered Boom in 2021 on this podcast, they told us then that these would be commercially ready by next year.
Good point, Jack. Good point. But still, Thanksgiving 2029, we could be watching the New England Patriots versus the Belgium Flugelbachers. I'm very excited for it because there's a secondary benefit to supersonic travel, besties. Shrink the Atlantic and expand the NFL. For our second story, The Gap just had its best growth quarter in 8 years, and it's all thanks to one commercial, rather, one music video.
The girl group Katseye dancing to Milkshake just turned The Gap into a record label.
We'll explain. But besties, let's talk some historical context here. The Supremes, they were the girl group of the 1960s. What about the 90s, Jack?
Well, there were Spice Girls, TLC, and Destiny's Child in the 90s.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. You'll have to vote in the comments right now.
For the 2020s, could be Katseye.
It could be Katseye. They've got 6 women singers from 5 different countries. This is the first true global girls group.
Formed in 2023, in just 2 years, they've gotten a Grammy nomination, a Fendi sponsorship, and they're on tour right now.
I think they're playing like tonight in New York, Jack. But besties, the Katseye band's big breakout was actually a denim ad for The Gap.
It's not really an ad, Nick. It's really a 90-second music video set to the 2003 hit Milkshake. Yes, The one that brings all the boys to the yard.
Yes, the one that almost got banned when we were in middle school.
And I just listened to it, and damn, that's a great song.
Well, Jack, this version of it happened to be gorgeously choreographed like a Stravinsky ballet, and it was wardrobed by The Gap.
And it flagships The Gap's Better in Denim campaign, which is a more diverse response to American Eagle's Good Jeans campaign that showcased Sydney Sweeney.
But besties, here's the plot twist. The Gap drove Katseye's breakout, but it appears Katseye just drove The Gap's stock breakout.
Because on Friday, stock in The Gap jumped by 8%. That's nearly $1 billion of new value to The Gap's shareholders.
Yeah, created by a music group. Sales surged 7% last quarter from the year before.
It's the Gap brand's best quarter of growth since the Slim Fit era of 2017.
So Jack and I got curious. We jumped in T-Boy style. Jack, what was the secret to this super Gap quarter?
Well, the CEO said the word incredible 12 times.
That's cool.
And referred to Katseye 3 times. So I think he was talking about how incredible Katseye was.
That's right, because that music video we just mentioned got 8 billion impressions and 500 million views for The Gap.
500 million views? That's like 3 Super Bowls worth of numbers.
No joke, besties. Sit down, stand up, and put the jeans back on. 500 million views is more than the Barbie movie trailer got.
But again, it wasn't really an ad. It was an MTV-worthy music video that is fun to watch.
Katseye got Gen Z to fall into The Gap last quarter.
My milkshake brings all the girls to The Gap. They're like, it's better than Zara.
Damn right, it's better than H&M. I could teach you, but I charge full price.
Now, the CEO's name is actually Richard Dixon.
And he's got the best hair out of any CEO on Wall Street right now, we should point out.
And the stock is up 2.5x since he took over The Gap 2 years ago.
Honestly, besties, if we could give out a T-Boy Profit Puppy Award to Best CEO of the Year, we're probably giving it to Richard Dixon, I think.
It might go to Dick Dixon.
Well, year's not over. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at The Gap?
The Gap is acting like a record label.
Yetis, the theme of most brand marketing these days is standard sponsorship and standard collabs.
Like the Sydney Sweeney Good Jeans campaign with American Eagle.
It caused some controversy and got a lot of eyeballs, but it was basically a straightforward ad format at the end of the day.
With a celebrity. On the other hand, The Gap has leaned into artistry, specifically around music.
For example, in San Francisco, they just reopened the flagship Gap on Chestnut Street, and they now sell vinyl records there, just like the very first Gap store in 1969.
The Gap also curated a holiday playlist and produced original music for that playlist with Sienna Spyro, and they also paid a choir.
Jack, did you see the Gap's also paying other choirs of handsome singers to wear Gap merchandise and do carols in the Gap stores this year? Yeah.
I did. I saw it on their Instagram. I wish I witnessed that in person.
And now the Gap's produced a music video with the most viral girls group on earth, Katseye.
They're not doing collabs or celebrity sponsorships. Well, actually, they are doing some celebrity sponsorships, including with Gwyneth.
That's fair. But they're really making art and selling music.
The Gap is acting like a record label.
Hey Yetis, if you're a bestie, take a sec and hit that subscribe button.
And like this video while you're at it. If you leave a comment, by the way, we'll read it.
For our third and final story, Yetis, there is one company selling mystery grocery bags for cheap, and they're filled with expiring food?
Too Good To Go is doing that. And this Thanksgiving, it's the Labubu of leftovers.
It's the Labubu business model. Now, Yetis, last week, Jack and I saw this bizarre headline, right, Jack? This was kind of weird.
Whole Foods is selling surprise groceries for up to 70% off.
That doesn't sound like a headline from CNBC. That sounds like a magic show. Like surprise bags of grocery food? What's going on here?
It turns out Whole Foods partnered with a startup called Too Good To Go. And Too Good To Go's name is their value proposition.
Yeah, basically they take food at a grocery store about to go bad and they sell it to customers at a big discount who don't care that it's about to go bad.
It's like how every bagel shop sells yesterday's bagels for half price or even less. Too Good To Go sells oldish food for cheap. They've scaled yesterday's bagels idea.
The business model is the thrift store for fine dining because one man's trash is another man's truffle.
The startup's based in Denmark, and it was said to be raising $300 million in venture capital this summer at a $1 billion valuation.
That's right. The next unicorn startup out there is scaling the old bagel concept.
Now, in business school terms, Too Good To Go is a marketplace.
Classic platform, perfect play here, Jack. Yeah.
It matches supply with demand, but it's a pretty niche supply and demand.
Yeah, it's kind of almost more like a fixer than a platform, if you know what I mean, Jack. Like, it's not doing this for everybody like Uber, Lyft, or DoorDash. This is specifically for one type of person and one type of grocery store need.
Well, the mission is to dramatically reduce food waste. So on one side is the grocery stores and the restaurants who have food that's close to expiration.
And on the other hand is the hungry people looking for an eco-friendly good deal who don't care about that expiration.
In the middle is Too Good To Go, which makes a nice cut for bringing the two sides together on the app.
So basically, this is a rare situation, besties, where we're seeing a win-win-win-win out of a platform. A quadro win?
The grocery store makes some extra money. The customer saves some extra money. Too Good To Go takes a little bit of money in the middle, and society saves the whales.
It's like a grand slam of platforms. But Jack and I also got to point out this other part of the business model that may be an issue.
If you're a venture capitalist, you might wonder how big the market is for, almost expired food.
Right. Like, don't the majority of people want fresh food most of the time?
Grocery stores tend to advertise how fresh they are. Fresh Direct is like fresh is in the name.
But here's the key. Too Good To Go spun the not fresh issue into a fun opportunity with our takeaway. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Too Good To Go?
Too Good To Go depends on the Labubu business model.
Yetis, the reason Too Good To Go has really taken off is not just the discounts on those brown bananas.
It's the positioning.
Right.
They're surprise grocery bags.
You see, if you're adventurous and you're down to eat anything for dinner tonight, then Too Good To Go becomes a perfect solution.
For a low price, you could get burritos. It could be a kale salad or it could be a pot roast. You don't know what you're going to get.
They've turned a potential liability, not the freshest food, into an asset of being fun. You gotta eat it tonight.
It replaces what to eat tonight decision paralysis with what's in the grocery bag excitement.
Which honestly is the same exact appeal we've seen with the Labubu doll mystery boxes.
The growth hack here is turning not fresh anymore pasta into the dinner you didn't expect.
As a Yeti once told us, Too Good To Go is the Labubu of leftovers. Jack, could you whip up the takeaways for us to kick off the week?
The NFL has long wanted to expand with 2 teams in Europe, but travel time has made it impossible.
But if Boom Supersonic succeeds, then we'll get the London Fog versus the Berlin Blitz in an upcoming Thanksgiving football game.
For our second story, The Gap just announced the best growth for the brand in 8 years, thanks to Katseye's music video.
Because The Gap is acting less like a fashion label and more like a music label. You hear that, Dre?
And our third and final story, Too Good To Go has turned nearly brown bananas into a $1 billion business.
They've turned not fresh into fun with the Labubu mystery box concept.
But besties, this pod's not over yet. Here's what else you need to know today.
First, stocks dropped 2% last week. It looked like the Red Sea in your portfolio. Same with us, despite Nvidia's blockbuster earnings.
And Bitcoin was nearly at $80,000 as of this recording.
But stocks did rise a bit on Friday on word from the president of the New York Fed.
He implied that an interest rate cut was coming this December, which makes markets very happy.
Wall Street's Christmas gift.
And second, Waymo announced their 20th city that they're going to expand to.
20, nearly 24.
I know. I think they're only in like 5 right now, but they've announced the next 15.
Minneapolis, Tampa, New Orleans, you are all getting a Waymo.
It feels like Oprah. You're getting a Waymo. You're getting a Waymo.
Plus, San Francisco now has 3 different robotaxi brands as of this week. It ain't just Waymo there.
Tesla's robotaxi opened up to everyone, and Amazon's Zoox recently launched too.
And finally, remember a couple weeks ago, Jack and I told you about the final penny? Well, we got an update for you on the literal final penny.
It was minted in Philadelphia, and now it's going to be sold in California at an auction. It's expected to sell for $5 million. Remember, this is a penny.
It's got a little omega sign on the coin, which is, Jack, my Greek's a little, Greek rusty, but I believe that means last one in the old language.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, tough day for Abe Lincoln out there, but he's still got the $5 bill.
And the Lincoln Memorial.
And Lincoln Square.
And Lincoln Park.
Now time for the best fact yet. This one sent in by legendary Yetis Imran and Axel.
We promised before our Lyft interview that we would ask the CEO why the brand is pink.
Okay, but full disclosure, Jack and I forgot to ask the Lyft CEO why the brand is Slammin' Salmon Pink. We were having so much fun in the interview.
We followed up, and they said it goes back to the founding in 2012. They wanted a color that would be warm and human.
Okay, but here was the strategic decision. They also wanted a color that would be the opposite of every other tech company out there.
Every tech and car company was black or blue, so they went to stand out with the color pink.
On a mustache. Yetis, you look fantastic out there. Jack, you're looking fantastic. I feel fantastic right now. And we know this guy, the little Yeti dude, I'm holding in my hands right now.
I got a link in the episode description. They will sell out. I'm confident they will. So get them now.
Okay.
And
you went full Billy Mays on us, Jack. You just sounded like a QVC double down.
I went Joe Namath guaranteeing the victory on this one.
Besties, grab your T-Boy Yeti economic support dolls while you can. These are the Labubu dupes. We don't know how long they'll last. There's a trade war out there.
But happy Thanksgiving week. It's a great week, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a wonderful pot free tomorrow. In the meantime, celebrate the wins. And before we go, a shout out to legendary Yeti Tony Ho, who I ran into on the subway on the way to record this podcast. Jack, he just moved to New York from Austin. You're going to have a fantastic time. Enjoy the city, Tony.
And congratulations to Trevor and Amber, soon to be Frederick, from Knoxville, Tennessee, who just got engaged.
Let's see the ring pics. And Diego and Toyi in Caracas, Venezuela also just got engaged. Guys, we got to see these ring pics. Can't wait. So pumped for you.
Happy belated 11th birthday to the big Logan Williams in Concord, North Carolina. Just outside Charlotte.
And Emily Tiernan-Malloy, the Princeton Tiger, is celebrating the best birthday yet with the Brownie Bear.
Happy birthday to Mimi Wong in Paris, France, who's loving this podcast as an ex-finance sis now working in tech.
And Flora back over in Queens is celebrating her first birthday as a mom. Congratulations on the double win, Flora.
And a big shout out to Olivia Ryder in Conifer, Colorado, waiting patiently for her new rabbit Peanut to arrive.
And Austin Pinson's got a belated birthday down in Hotlanta, Georgia. Congratulations, Austin.
And finally, a big shout out to Alexis Crawford, who paid off her student loans. What a legend.
We already pressed it once, but Jack, for this,
an exception was warranted. This is Jack. We both own ETFs of the S&P 500, and we both own some Bitcoin.
Bitcoin named Ben.
Yeah, I don't really know how to react to your critique about football.
I mean, it's just so funny that they're like, we're so tough. We just need more vacation time than anybody.
It's not vacation time.
Oh, I'm sorry. How many off weeks do they get in other leagues? The concept doesn't exist. The bye week.
Oh, the bye week? You mean?
So they get 2 weeks of vacation in the middle of the season.
Only one.
Also, they're always wearing those big coats. It's cold out there.
Like they're playing in the snow.
Aerial sports, they have to yell. You guys get like a microphone. You don't need to hurt your voice. It's a league of comforts.